What is up, people of YouTube? I'm your host Vernon. This is Lake Mead. Let's fish that. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, me and the wife made it out here to Lake Mead today to do some slow fishing over the weekend. It's late in the afternoon on the Sunday, lots of people around, lots of people fishing. Chose this particular spot at 33 hole because we have the river coming in, and the last couple of days we had some pretty good rain here in Vegas, meaning that lots of new nutrients and food are washing into the lake, so fish tend to move to this spot to try and find some food. That's why we're fishing out here today. Okay, so March is a pretty good time to do some fishing. You have changing of seasons, different fish coming to breed, some that already spawned. For instance, something like crappie and suckerfish, they tend to move back into the deeper waters, whereas bluegill and bass tend to start moving up. And of course we have the carp up shallow. So generally it's just a pretty good time that you can catch any kind of fish depending on the day and the weather, of course, the water temperatures. If it's a bit too cold, nothing will bite. You can only catch certain fish. If it's hot enough, everything will bite and you can have a good day. For that reason, we're out here today with a couple of rods. On the one we have some night crawlers, hoping to catch some channel catfish. We have an anchovy one, hoping for some stripers. And we have the carp one to see whether the carp are still feeding. On the fourth rod, we'll be throwing around some lures, seeing maybe if we can find some bass or just some small hooks to see if there's any other small fish up close. Clearly something's nibbling on the baits because it's moving up and down quite a lot. Just waiting for it to stop feeding on the mix that I have out there and go for one of the hooks with the corn on there. When it comes to carp fishing and having the back bait out there, it's best to leave it in the water as long as possible, especially if you're getting little nibbles like this, because the fish are swimming around and coming back to it again. If you just bring it in to check your bait, you're going to remove it from where the fish are, so it's best to just leave it out there. But alright guys, we finally have a fish on. Seems to be a little channel cat. This one was not caught using corn. We have corn on the top hook and then some night crawlers on the bottom hook to get this little channel cat. Being spring, these guys are already starting to feed again and fattening up. That's why we're trying for some channel cats out here today. Alright guys, so tiny little channel cat caught today. I was busy exploring some of the waterways. That's why the wife brought in this one. Nice little channel cat. He has some parasites on him. When handling these guys, make sure you lift the fins. These fins tend to have spikes on them, as well as the dorsal fin. So all you do is lift the two fins between your fingers and make sure that you press onto that one. This way, if the fish is moving around a lot, you won't get spined. These spines do hurt quite a lot. Yeah, and you can bleed if they get you. So try and keep them in a proper good grip so that you won't get spined. But let's get this fish back into the water. This little channel cat is grunting at me, so let's release him. And off he goes. Water is rather murky, can't see them, but they're swimming off.
Kijk.
Ja. Kijk waar die ander stok.
Wat die moet inbrengen.
Ja, weet ik. Hij is boer, ons zullen het zakken, hè? The carp. Oh, it's off.
Och nee.
That was a carp, but not meant to be. We lost that one. At least we could see him, but we didn't get to land him. Alright guys, it's days like these that I'm pretty happy to bring my wife out here with me. If not for her, we wouldn't have any fish in this video. I've managed to lose 3 fish today. We struggled finding fish earlier today. People next to us were catching, we weren't catching, but we were using the same baits. So we moved to some different spots, tried some different things, finally got onto some fish. Not quite sure what the other 2 was that I lost. I think they might have been channel catfish. And now, just having lost that big carp right here at the end, I brought that one in too quickly and he managed to get loose from the hook. Normally during the month of March, the channel catfish, they start feeding again. Using something like night crawlers, you can start catching them again. We made it out here because of the murkier water. With the rains bringing in some new food, these fish are eager to eat. That's why we used some night crawlers to catch them out there today. The carp, they are jumping around. They don't seem to be that active. I think they're heading into the spawn, so soon we won't be catching any of them anymore. Of course, it's only something like a month or something for the spawn, and then they'll start feeding again like crazy. Alright guys, but having lost that carp, there is something I want to mention about carp. Alright, so I double checked and triple checked with the NDOW, sending some messages asking the people. There's no rule in Nevada that says you have to kill any carp. Taking any carp out of the water and releasing it back into the same body of water, that's 100% fine. There is no rule anywhere that you have to kill any carp. There are certain bodies of water, however, like Paranagit, where the managerial staff, they ask that you remove the fish, and that is decided by the management of each body of water itself. Here at Lake Mead, there's no rules against the carp. You can release carp, you don't have to kill them. If you don't want to release any carp, please do consider taking the carp and cooking them. They're not that bad to eat. Later this year I will do a catch and cook for you guys with carp to get some recipe ideas and stuff like that. But please don't be wasteful. Don't just throw the fish on the banks. Been seeing quite a lot of dead carp around. Please don't kill these fish if not necessary. Alright guys, so not a very successful day for me today, but it's still a pretty fun day out here. I want to thank you for joining us on this trip. Please give us a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video. Feel free to ask any questions down below in the comments. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.